Hello guys, and now we are in the first game, a model game for black in the Fisher Sozin attack. Uh, this game was played between Jensen as white and Lev Fakis as black in Las Vegas in '97, and this game goes e4 c5, knight f3 e6, d4 cd4, and knight takes d4. So this game is basically shows how to play against the Fisher Sozin attack by white. And after knight f6, knight c3, d6, bishop c4, and this bishop c4 is the thematic Fisher Sozin attack. And now let's see how to play against it in the black side. So bishop e7, bishop b3, castle shot, and bishop e3. White can also delay this move. The other possibility is castles, then knight to a6, and now f4, intending to station the queen on f3 behind the f pawn. Now after knight c5, queen to f3, white has managed to post his queen on a nice active square. But in the game bishop e3 was played. Now knight a6. A plus side of not playing the knight of move order, the knight can get to c5 without black needing to worry about the sacrifice on e6. Now castles. This combination of ideas looks slightly awkward. Now knight c5, a multi-purpose move. The knight doesn't just attack the e4, which causes white some short-term problems, but also defends the e6 again, introduces the idea of taking on b3, and clears the way for the advance of the a5, a4, a plan which has been executed in many games. Now queen f3. This makes white's job harder. The queen impedes the f-pawn and limits the range of future attacking possibilities. In spite of the constraint that white's e4 pawn was under attack, there are a better way to continue. Uh, Here f3 doesn't give black any particular problems, but white's position is playable too. After queen f3, now a6. This and the black player chooses a kind of quasi knight of a continuation. The b pawn will now advance 2 squares and make way for the queen's bishop to fianchetto, and once more hammer the e4 square. Now rook a d1, queen c7, knight d e2. Another route down which white could have gone is here rook fe1 and then b5. Now a3 and bishop to b7, bishop to c1, but it is clear that black has the situation under control. Now after knight de2, b5, now e5. White shows his cards. However, he seems to have misevaluated the consequences. Uh, the necessary evil was a3, and black would proceed with rook to b8 with the idea of b4, and after a takes b4 there is rook takes b4, again posing white lasting problems. After but white played e5. Now de5. Here the black Here the black player turns the situation to his advantage. This move causes white's idea to backfire. Uh, Here, in all likelihood, white had mostly considered the move bishop b7. Then the point was after ed6, bishop takes d6 and queen h3 with sharp end-to-end play, notwithstanding that black is still somewhat better in case of rook ad8. After d takes e5, queen takes a8, bishop b7, queen takes f8. White has exchanged a queen and a pawn for two rooks. In most cases, this is a good exchange, but here it is quite the opposite. Uh, if at all queen a7, then rook a8 is coming. Now king takes f8. Now knight to g3. Let's think about why this position is indeed better for black. He has a he has, as mentioned, only one pawn to balance out the queen for two rook situation. Furthermore, he has doubled pawns. However, white has even more deep-seated issues. Foremost among which is that his pieces simply do not work together. Black has a dominant pawn pass in the center, and the particular way in which it is arranged facilitates his queen working all over the board, making the queen rather preferable to white's two rooks, which lack any means of using the open lines. Now queen to c6. The queen is perfectly placed. Now f3. And now b4. Now knight c2. If at all, knight c4 also can be played. After b4, knight c2, and now a5. a5 is an inaccuracy. Knight to g4, and then bishop takes c5, queen takes c5 check, and then here king h1, knight f2 check, and rook takes f2, and queen takes f2, and rook f1, queen b6, rook d1. I think it's easy win for black as white has lost a rook, or better is queen to e3. Now knight g1, a5, bishop c4, and queen f2, bishop d8, I mean bishop d3, and now f5, b3, now g6, knight 3 e2, or even knight to h3 may be played. Knight to h3, and then queen to c5, queen to c5, and rook f1, queen d4, rook e1. So guys, I hope you would have enjoyed the game. uh, and this game is a quite good example to handle the Fisher Sozin attack. So I'll be meeting in the next game, another game, model game for black, and after that we'll be looking at the Kia's attack in the next series. So thank you all.